What's up, everybody? Welcome back to October's Kaizen update. I think we actually skipped a month, and I'm going to blame that on us being at MaidThis Live. So we got so much content to go over.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really excited to dive into this. Let's start with new graduating Zs. It's been so long that we have 4 of them, actually all in the same class. Nikki over in Katy, Texas, Ted Marie over in Columbia, Maryland, Colin in Northeast Houston, Devontae and Lindsay over in Atlanta. Huge shout out to all of these recent graduates. It's amazing to see how far people can come and how much they can grow and change in just 8 weeks of MaidThis University. So really, really cool, and big shout out to you guys.
Yeah, super excited about this class, if you will. Hey, look at this, man. We got an anniversary. Our guy Matt down in Tampa. We were just in his neck of the woods too for our MaidThis Live event. Matt's crushing it, like super impressed with the business he built and how fast that he spun up. It's been really fun to watch his growth and see like the evolution of the kind of business he runs these days. So cool guy and a cool location there for sure. So much to talk about with MaidThis Live, man.
Wow. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Really fun. I can't believe how it was our biggest turnout yet, right? Of course, we're growing every day, but it was just jam-packed. And I left feeling like it wasn't long enough, but really, could I have absorbed any more? No. It was absolutely awesome to meet everyone that you just get to see online, right? This community comes to life.
Yeah, for
literally
sure.
When you go to this event.
And it was not only just the attendees making it, but like everybody being at every part of it, right? Like just that community feel, that energy. We don't have top golf pictures here for a reason, but man, I can't wait to like share some of that content internally. So really cool weekend for sure. Like from the franchisor side, I know we all left with like new excitement and things we want to work on for the system. So that was invigorating on our end too. In fact, let's talk a little recap. Guys, we have recorded sessions. So even if you weren't there, we did record all of the sessions. And in fact, I know for a fact that those are going to start getting rolled out today to our franchisees, and we will trickle those out over the next few weeks. For those of you that are there, like comment in terms of like this session, really, this is what I took away. This is a takeaway. This is something I already implemented. There's a ton of power in that. So we want to keep that energy going as best we can. We had sweet swag. Like I'm super pumped about this, man. I wear the socks. Dan, you got your backpack. Look at that. Yeah. So that was cool. Super fun. Like getting to like give that to franchisees felt really cool. And that was a real joy for sure. State of the Union, you know, some of the videos that we're going to roll out, you're going to hear Neil talk about the things we did last year and the things that are coming. In fact, we'll jump into most of this on the call today. A platform that's really getting ready to roll out next week is called Easy Assist. For those of you who have been asking, we are moving towards a one solution that replaces both Launch 27 and Operto, and then MaidThis Junior College, so a way to train those remote team members and get them up to speed through an LMS system is pretty darn cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love all of that stuff. And I'm so excited for the swag mostly.
Yeah,
but, awesome. And look at this.
Yep. It's we finished out the event with awards. We'll kind of run through this here real quick. So Nerd Mode, our guy who is on top of his data, who knows his numbers, he wasn't there. So this is a lesson for any of you. Make sure to be there. Otherwise, we're going to do our part to maybe rib you or embarrass you just slightly. So our guy Parker took home the Nerd Award. We had Kaizen. You can see Julius down there with the kicking butt trophy. Kaizen is all about getting 1% better, right? What do you do to stay gritty, to keep your head down, to keep going? And Julius for sure has been an example of that. So that was really exciting to give him that award. Dan up there got to give out the We Not Me, you know, just like the representation of the R, the pirate, really about the community and engaging and giving back, being generous with your thoughts, your time, and reaching out to your peers. So that went out to Matt and Courtney. And then finally, we got to award the Franchisee of the Year. And these guys exemplify all the core values in addition to running a really exciting business. And this went out to Bree and Sean up in Wisconsin. So super exciting. Can't wait to see what next year holds. A lot can happen in 12 months, guys. So really looking forward to where we are at this point come 2026.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about the franchisees out in the community. This is become such an important piece of running your MaidThis location for so many of our franchisees. And we have Julius, for example, worked with Steven. We'll talk about him a little later.
Yep.
If you haven't been introduced to him yet, but worked with our community coach, Steven, on building out a great BNI presentation that happy to share with anyone, right? It's a template for you guys to use as you start your BNI, which has been, I mean, just proving to be super successful in every location that we have it in terms of networking and getting ROI out of the investment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The next picture is some delicious looking pumpkin bread, or maybe just regular bread that looks like a pumpkin from Brie, and dropping these breads off at people, making breads. Like, how cool is that to have a cleaning company be like, here's some bread for you? Really impactful way, yet somewhat laborious way to get customers, but I love it because it's like no one's doing that, right?
For sure.
We have some seasonal nesting packages. Tara over in Jersey actually partnered up with a organizer. So how cool is this? Not only is she able to be like, hey, we'll clean your house, but if you need it organized, we have a great partner for that.
And Tara just launched, like she's in like what, week 2 of business, right? How cool.
Basically, yeah. And really fantastic. She has a lot of other wins, but this is a really cool one community wise in terms of who she's partnering with. And then we can't forget about Megan over in Richmond, Virginia. Look at how awesome this table is with the MaidThis camp flag, the Scrubby. I mean, the Mr. Scrubby in there is so awesome. But yeah, what a great way to kind of get out in the community and show off how awesome your business is and how awesome you are in particular. Also, I'm pretty sure she gave away
those the grip openers, right?
Yes, to open jars. And we were talking about chip clips too. Like those are some killer ideas. Talk to Megan if you need some branding ideas for little cool giveaway stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then speaking of community marketing, who's this guy? This is Stephen Heiner here. You can see with a couple franchisees. In fact, if you get inside our Slack channel, it's not unusual to see Stephen posting selfies when he happens to be passing through various cities that we have franchisees in. Stephen is just, this is a chance to kind of reintroduce him to the system and people outside of it. Guys, he does a lot for us. He wears a lot of different hats on the franchisor side in terms of he writes the content for our newsletters, and he's the guy that interviews Neil for the internal podcast. He is also like our dedicated subject matter expert for community marketing. So any new franchisee coming into the system is tasked with reaching out to Stephen and setting up a meeting. Stephen is going to handhold you through all of the various community marketing initiatives. And he starts by figuring out what makes sense for you and your market, and then he's going to give you the playbook on it. So we just asked Stephen to record a video, like reintroduce yourself, tell us about what you do in the system, and we've updated the community marketing SOP internally on the Notion site. So take a look at that. This is a good guy who's doing a lot of great work for the network and pops in from time to time your city and takes you to coffee.
Yep. His calendar link's on the page too. If you want to schedule a call and you haven't yet, it's right under his video.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been a couple of months. We had a couple of franchisee roundtables in that time. This handsome gentleman on the left did the prepping for Q4. So a little bit more about, what to expect for Q4, moving into the holiday season. It can be a really big, take advantage of some really big holidays coming up, people wanting deep cleans for family coming in, and then kind of moving into Q1 after that, right? We're always thinking 30, 60, 90 days out. It's really fun. And then we had one with Horacio, hands-on tech. So we launched something called the marketing dashboard, which we've talked about before. How does that tie into keeping your data clean and using our CRM to kind of just level up your business, right? So those calls are always recorded too. For better or worse, they are recorded and then put into the Notion operations manual for you. So there's a separate section that has Z Roundtable recordings on there for you guys. So if you have questions about it, let me know, but it's right there. Just search Notion and you'll find it. But yeah, looking forward to the one upcoming, actually. Should have mentioned this. Neil is jumping on here in November. And Jenny, what is he talking about again?
Yeah, he's going to do kind of 2 parts. The first part is going to be focusing on like the holiday promos and some campaigns that we want to kick off and we'll actually do for you. We want to make sure you understand how it works though. And then the other part is just some cleaner management, some best practices and kind of a check-in on that. So always fun when Neil can get on those calls. We'll make sure it's on everybody's calendar. Again, it's recorded, but you get so much more value when you can show up, you can engage, you can ask questions live. And have, Neil solve all your problems on the spot. So it's a good deal.
Neil's doing some housekeeping at the end of that call, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Speaking of Neil, look at this guy. Looks contemplative over there. Yeah, look at it. This is, and I think we just talked about this too a little bit. Stephen, this is something that Stephen runs and puts together. Dan, if you want to talk a little bit about what he's been covering lately.
Oh my goodness, this guy is very well traveled. He's kind of our El Capitan, and he recently went to Rwanda. So a lot of the clips and internal podcasts are coming out of like, hey, here's what I learned when I was away. And not only does he manage his business remotely, but part of our Made This Live journey was from grind to growth. And visiting a new country and learning how the systems work, you kind of come in and you're totally blind. You don't know anything. It's very similar to how your business journey is when you're trying to get acclimated to a new country and living there for 6 months. So a lot of the content recently has been really, really good mindset and kind of just like, this is what it's like when you go visit a country, and you can draw parallels to pretty much everything else in your life, especially when it comes to business. So really worth a listen if you haven't yet.
I mean, very cool. Guys, let's talk cracking the code briefly. I say briefly because we're kind of getting back to this. So we're doing a reset based on the franchisee satisfaction survey, based on other things we heard from franchisees at conference itself. Guys, this is continuing to be an area that we want to invest in. So just to recap, cracking the code is what can we do from a franchisor standpoint to partner with franchisees to test out vendors, test out marketing strategies. The whole point is to find you guys leads, good leads, to generate business. So more to come on this. We've got quite a few things in the works and excited to delve into this in the coming months for sure. Another little marketing tidbit, something that Neil pushed out recently that they've tested in LA and that he shared with the rest of the network, is a reactivation campaign. So again, using Go High Level, our CRM, just a campaign to get more reoccurring business, to get clients who have had cleans back on the schedule again. So some cool stuff that continues to get shared. And guys, I know we're throwing out a lot of resources and then trying to tell you where they are. I bet that feels overwhelming. So we're going to have a solution for that here shortly. Before we get to that though, let's jump into the tech support roundup.
Because there's always so many things to talk about for this. The tech team's working so hard. It's almost like at a blinding speed. And what's being done, sometimes we don't know, but it's all happening really fast, right? So they've rolled out a new guest book system, which is our newsletter that goes out to the Airbnb vacation rental audience. Setting up 2 to 6, honestly, new franchisees, actually.
Yeah.
New daily and weekly reports for you guys. They've been handling a ton of tech tickets, which, I submit probably 40 of those 42. Sorry, guys. New Zap connections. And what that does is it has one software talk to the other software. And so a ton of that stuff being set up on the back end. And then on this next slide here, they've also been implementing Go High Level 4.0. Guys, this is our CRM. If you're not using it, shame on you. But how awesome that we keep getting new iterations of this. So there's a lot of word jumble on the screen here. Basically, improve the funnel. So when a customer calls in, they're being put into the right place quicker and getting better automated messages. There's a new follow-up campaign. Usually these are like 21 days of, hey, if they were a new lead, what do I tell them? If they were quoted, what does the system tell them? If they've converted, or maybe they're only one time, how do I get them to retain them or get them to book again? All this stuff has been revamped and brand new for you. So really awesome. The other cool thing is it's all connected to a master account now. So when these updates come out, it's not like, okay, Dan gets it and then Jenny gets it and then this person gets it. It's all at once. So we can push updates out even faster to everyone. So really awesome. Hats off. Kudos, hand clap, golf clap, whatever for these guys over on the tech team.
For sure, man. We're keeping those guys busy. Yeah.
In fact, yeah, forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah, keeping them busy. We'll continue to act. We're always going to have upcoming projects. That's part of it. This is also the exciting stuff for us. So we've got an AI call analyzer. That's something we talked about at MaidThis Live as well. That's coming out. We get to do call scoring, which is huge. Easy Assist, that keeps coming up. That's something the tech team is also supporting, and we'll again talk more about that. An AI sales coach for franchisees and for their team members. Guys, we won't go into this too much, but let me just tell you, it's as cool as it sounds. And so that's something that we're really excited to also get to implement. AI training bot for new franchisees as well. Those things are pretty similar, but the whole point is really how do we utilize technology in a way to stay ahead of the game for not only ourselves, but for the franchisees, and obviously for your teams as well.
This whole video recording is AI, actually. Yeah. Jenny and I are off somewhere else. This is our likeness. It's great.
Isn't it so impressive, right?
Yep.
And speaking of teams, right? Your remote team members, that's such a big deal. And one of the things too, we have a lot of franchisees right now who said, yeah, I'm looking to hire. I'm looking for a salesperson. I'm looking for an ops person. So not a problem. We said, okay, we're going to sponsor a Dynamite Jobs ad. And then we've had Grace, who is Neil's awesome assistant, has been doing the first round screening. So we have a spreadsheet that has all of the notes, including the salary offer or the salary options for this person, their resume, and then notes from that screening. And then you have the option to go in and essentially contact those people. So this is something, you know, as a franchisee, if you're currently using this, that list will continue to grow. Grace is working on screening more and more people each day.
And that's,
Right.
you know, in tandem with the Sagan platform and everything else that we have. So
Yep.
really cool to have all those resources.
Absolutely.
Speaking of resources, I mean, I'm overwhelmed at this point. We really do have a lot to talk about today. We just came out with new SOPs on multi-unit ownership. So if you're looking at expanding or have interest down the road or right now, whatever the case is, we have new guidelines on that are officially formally published. So definitely check that out. The little octopus means multi. I made that, right? Multi-unit, multi-arms. I don't know. Middle school.
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
But that's all out there for you guys in Notion, as well as a resale guide. Look, everyone comes to a point in their business where you either, you know, keep running it or you sell it. No one's going to be in this business forever. So we wanted to be really transparent and put together a resale guide for you guys for when that time, if and when it comes, you know exactly how it's going to go and have the resources there for you. So,
yep, for sure. Speaking of cool resources, Dan, tell me about this, man. You've been working so hard on this. It's super cool.
It's a community effort. Everyone has pitched in here, and really, it's just so cool to be able to be doing the MaidThis University, and then it's like, hey, you have a remote team member or somebody coming on to help you with ops or sales.
Yep.
How do I train them? Here's a really cool resource to start, right? Nothing replaces the one-on-one with the manager and really learning your style, but this is pretty freaking close, right? This is the MaidThis way. It's called MaidThis Junior College, and it's like 82 lesson course on everything from how to communicate with your manager, what do they want out of you, how to do sales, what's the MaidThis way of scheduling and operation. So it's jam-packed and it's completely free. Like, you just sign up for it. You can hand it over to your remote team member. It has completion. You can track their progress on it. They mark the lessons completed, so you can kind of be very hands-on with it as well and use it as part of your initial onboarding and training with your remote team members. It's very cool. I think this is an awesome thing.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of another tool too, right, man?
Yeah, it MaidThis live. We had everyone complete the franchise business health check, right? Business health check is what we're calling it. So all the franchisees that were MaidThis live, they did it. They got an email with their score and their results. The whole goal of this was to be like, hey, instead of just feeling like I think this is going okay, let's put it all down on paper. Do you know X about your sales numbers? Do you know Y about your cleaning team? And if you do or you don't, it kind of scores you and then spits out a number that says, here's your strengths, here's your weaknesses, and here's a game plan to improve. Yep. Guys, I really would love it if everyone could go back and look at this again. Let's use this in coaching calls. This is a really targeted way to get the feeling out of it, right? Remove the emotion and look at the data and be like, hey, this is a weakness. Let's work on it, right? Nothing wrong with it. So we are going to be, again, another place to look, but we are going to be putting this in a high vis place for you guys. If you want to go back and revisit it, or if you've lost the one that you have from your email, or it's kind of got lost in the shuffle there, this is a great tool, and I hope that everyone uses it and specifically ask me, can we go over it? So
yeah, for sure. And the way it works, you'll fill out a form. It's pretty quick. Maybe takes 5 minutes, and then it kicks out an email with the report. So it's pretty slick.
Yeah, it's really cool. And huge shout out to Jenny for basically building the whole back end of it. So
unless you hate it, then it was someone else. Easy Assist. Okay, we've been talking about this the whole time, guys. Super excited. This was something we also showed and talked about at MaidThis Live. More and more, we do a good job, I think, of building resources and tools and sharing content for franchisees. But what's always hard to do for any system, ours included, is finding it. And unless you're Dan or I, who are in it from every day and sharing links constantly or pointing people in the right direction, which we're happy to do. Question is, how can we empower franchisees more? How can we make this stuff easier to find? And so excited that Easy Assist is going to be the answer to that. So first of all, Easy Assist won't be the name you're going to get used to. This is a tool, a bot that's powered by a platform called Easy Assist. In fact, we have a contest going now to see what we're going to name the support bot. Some pretty good ones ranking on there. Dan, I don't know if you've looked recently.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is the top. I had no idea we had so many Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
and I might shock the world with this. I am not a Star Wars fan. So I'm cool with whatever the community decides, but I was shocked at how many Star Wars references are
Or
on
like
this.
put that guy at the top. So
Yeah.
we'll be announcing the name here Friday. We'll also be pushing out later today a registration to sign franchisees up to get onboarded. Guys, we've got limited spots, so make sure to snag it. The idea is, and it's going to be pretty painless, and it's actually really exciting. This image is a nice little graphic that says all of these different support channels that we have in the background. We use Notion, we use Google, we use websites, YouTube, etc. We also use Slack. So this thing also pulls from previous Slack messages, and it's going to be a bot that you have access to on a couple different platforms. You can text it, you can email it. It's got a website link that's just as easy, and you ask it a question and it's going to generate an answer pulling specifically from our content. If it's a video that we've recorded, it can actually scan through the transcript and point you to the exact minute and second within that video that answers the question. In turn, if the system says, gee, I don't really know how to answer that, you have the option to submit a ticket right there in the spot. So that is one, a way that gets a ticket easily created for your needs. Two, we'll be monitoring that. And if we recognize there's content or there are questions or things that our franchisees need that we've not provided, we will be tasked with actually building that out for you. So we are all super excited here on the franchisor side. Dan and I got back from a really cool conference and talked to a lot of folks who are using this within their system. Everybody had really positive feedback. So really excited to roll out a very tech-forward support platform for everybody.
Heck, I'll tell you this, it's not only wild and awesome and such an easy way to find the massive, like, just so much overwhelm with the resources, but we actually got to meet the guys who created it last week, and I was able to meet the first ever person who bought into their vision, who's another franchise business owner. Yeah, so it was awesome. They're really passionate about what they do, and they're customizing a lot of this for us on the fly as well. So really excited. We should have led with this. If you made it this far, this is the coolest thing in the video. You can stop now. But no, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, for sure, man. Me too. So much coming, guys. We even had to trim this down. There's so many things we could throw into this. We'll have more updates next month for sure. Can't wait to wrap up, 2025. I can't believe we're like knocking on November's door and then jumping into 2026 with both feet. So super excited. As always, we wrap it up with how can we better support you? That door is wide open unless it's after hours. And of course, we'll get back to you the next day. But we want to hear from you. That's important to us. And yeah, man, this was a good long update.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really thrilled to have done it. Hopefully everyone made it to this point, and so excited to see what this upcoming quarter and next year brings.
All right, man. We'll see you next month.